Okay, we are going to sum up very quickly. So this is almost the end of the day, which we call noises, and I hope that after the mascoletta you are able still, you can hear, because I almost deaf after this event. Anyway, I just only remind you from the beginning of the day what was mentioned here. The former minister says something important about what we missed, and that freedom is in a danger. I would also say, after our speakers, what they say, that the democratic model is also in a danger. Then Raul Abeledo, I'm sorry if I'm not pronounced correctly your names, said also something important about integration, how we can integrate different spheres. Paul Russell says something important about soft power. I like it very much, that we somehow, most of us, maybe all, here in this room, we are all cultural producers, and that the symbolic, that things which we are creating can give a great soft power. Dunya mentioned something interesting about decentralization, and we are talking about center today, so this is also important. We are talking about public space, but also how to share with our knowledge about art and cultural or informal educations, all this methodology and tools to others, to people who don't know, didn't have access, for example, for some important things. What was also mentioned by Borisa said about distance, very important, and of course everyone remembers about stop PowerPoing. So this was also important because we need to face-to-face contact and more maybe involving and participating in our doings. Jaron, there is also something which, like keyword and some leitmotif today, was some words like storytelling, narrations, of course, discourse. And Jaron gave us a wonderful example how we can use the story, for example, with Galileo. So this is important, that to see something more, sometimes we need to be patient or very curious to see also the shadow. Ekmel, thank you very much. Today I'm from Poland, and what you say from your case from Turkey, it was very important to me, and I maybe later discuss about some similarities. And I like very much the narrative of resistance. You mentioned about also the power which gives us narrative of silence. What is more, and I like also Nuno Casimiro said something about what we need. I think that's creative, constructive. Yes, exactly. You also mentioned about losing active citizenship. And what is important that we need, what you said, that this, what can be similar for us, that the place where we came from, so our backgrounds in our doing, of course. And some recommendation, maybe it would sound sounds like some recommendation, but few short comments which I would like to underline here. Is also formal and informal way of education, rethinking our vocabulary. You also mentioned about that words needs to be rethinking again. What is more, that it could be some solution to our questions is cross-sectoral, cross-institutional cooperation, and also cooperation between different organizations and their models. There were also some very optimistic issues, like that some optimistic statements that we need also less fear, but also more trust. And also the question for me, or maybe positive aspect of that philosophy of the dialogue, which was mentioned here a little bit. So it could be somehow the answer. And okay, that will be some in short, and I give the floor to Tony.
Well, thank you. After listening to 19 people during more than 5 hours, and with 7.5 minutes to speak, I'll choose to summarize this first day of Transmaking in the following statement. It's the power, stupid. It's the necessity to challenge symbolic, social, economic, and institutional power. It's the recognition of culture as a source of power and the realm for political struggle. When the symbolic becomes a feature of institutional inertia, mainstream expressiveness and aesthetics, and orthodox thought, it reveals itself at its best as harmless and politically sterile. And at its worst, it reveals itself as a means of disguise and legitimization of established powers. Culture, as an agency for change and social development, must unlearn to be able to learn. And we learn against the already learned. Mature, independent, and innovative thought implies that we must question what we have acquired as beliefs and attitudes, and then consciously ratify what is still proven useful and dismiss what is proven wrong or purposeless. We have to unlearn the information that intoxicates. We have to analyze the reduced reality that is presented to us, and we have to expand the realm of the political. We have to transit to new territories, frontier territories where new questions and practices arise. Frontier, peripheral, and decentralized territories where theories, narratives, and methodologies blossom from what is conventionally regarded as noise. Theories, narratives, and methodologies that are capable to influence in a decisive way the reconfiguration of the central cultural, political, economical, and sociological debates. The cartography of these new territories can be drawn from the tensions between academic life and artistic life, from the blind spots of professional practice, from the habits of mainstream thought and the notions of creativity and innovation, from the normalized and everyday articulation of experience, creativity, and science, from the connections and disconnections between specialized and common language. I'll finish where I started with a reference to a statement made from this morning by Nuno Casimiro, who Alexander just mentioned again. Words are not used for what they mean. Well, let's mobilize culture and language to reveal what they currently hide. Naming empowers. The challenge is to redistribute cultural power by renaming culture and reconfiguring the notion of culture. That's up to you.